This is Katlyn Harp, and she disappeared at around 7:30 p.m. on June 19th, 2025, just recently. And there's been a lot of speculation online right now, especially related to her husband, Vinny Harp. Katlyn was a loving person, and her family describes her as passionate and a bright, shining star. However, where is she? It is unlike her to disappear for this amount of time without reaching out to any of the family. As I stated, Vinny Harp right now is coming under heavy speculation about his possible involvement in Katlyn's disappearance. He says he's not responsible, despite having a suspicious death of his previous wife. Many people believe Vinny is responsible for the death of his first wife, Stephanie, for the custody of their children. There's even evidence that he had his vehicle stuck in a very peculiar spot. His excuse is he was searching for Katlyn. Many of the items that he possessed, he tried to sell. This is a little too sus for me in the story that's been spun. We've heard before. Where is Katlyn Harp? I know she's out in those woods, and I know that Vinny knows where she's at. So I'm heading to PA, to Bloomsburg, PA, and I will be joining in the search for Katlyn Harp. Well, hello, my big, beautiful people here on the Tiki Talk. I hope you guys are doing good. I'm Bullhorn Betty, and we're covering true crime. And this right here is Katlyn Harp. Many of you guys are hearing about her case. I'm learning about it this morning. Hey, Penny, it's nice to see you. Cool. Good morning. Good morning, Kendra. I'm a little exhausted. My body's a little achy. I was standing out in the sun in the heat here in North Carolina for hours yesterday. Good morning. Good morning. So what a strange case. I'm finally starting to look into this case, start reading some articles, get a good understanding of who's the who of this particular case, learning about the vehicle being stuck, just a whole bunch of different things about this case. And one thing I can honestly say is it sounds awfully sus. Vinny and his prior wife, it is alleged from everything I'm reading online that he unalived his first wife to get custody of his children. And he was never charged with that crime. They could never get anything to stick. And now this is his second wife, and she's disappeared. And he's got his truck stuck in frickin' woods out by his house and trying to sell all of his equipment. ATVs, trucks, motorcycles, whatever the case may be, just trying to get rid of it. And this is painting a clear picture for me. It sounds like he was out in the woods to possibly get rid of something, got stuck, had to go get some equipment that might get out there, go take care of business, maybe use another vehicle to transport, then sell them, and then have somebody come out and drag your butt out of a ditch and act like you didn't do anything wrong, but out there looking for your wife. Now, I've been doing true crime for a while, so I'm used to taking very little and having to build something with that very little tidbit of information. And so I'm starting to build that tidbit of information. I'm going out there to join in it on the search. Right now, I'm in North Carolina, Graham, North Carolina, for Daniela Mendiola. She was, run over, and it's a long story, but we're here with the family in a very sad case. She didn't deserve what happened to her, and her family has a life sentence right now and very little justice. They went from having no justice to having some little bit of justice, but not enough justice. And so we're out here allowing them to raise their voice. We want to showcase Daniela as that we head into the court proceedings on Monday. After the court proceedings on Monday, I will be heading to Bloomsburg, PA, and start finding out any information. If you are out in the area or you know where this particular location is, I need you to reach out to bullhornbetty@gmail.com, bullhornbetty@gmail.com. I need to get some surveillance, not on them, but of the area. I need to get some, if you have any aerial shots of this area, any type of photos of this area, get those over to me at bullhornbetty@gmail.com, bullhornbetty@gmail.com. This is where we kind of exceed. We've been searching for people for many years. I've got ideas based on what I'm looking at here, just based on my experience in other cases. So I'd like to get out there. I would like to speak with Vinny, and I don't want to just assume because of all these things that he's this terrible guy. I have very, very, very specific questions for him, and I'm expecting very specific responses. So if he doesn't want to meet with me, that tells me something. If he can't answer certain questions, that tells me something. But moreover, I just want to I don't know. I don't know what he's going to be able to provide to me, because I'm already going in there assuming that he's going to lie to me. But if not, I'll know very quickly, and I can start refocusing where it needs to be focused on. So we'll see what happens. I'm not sure if he'll be willing to talk to me. I'm not going to push, obviously. I'll just ask. It's one of those things he's going to do. He's going to want to sit down with me, or he's not. So, but we're going in. We're going to see what we can do, what we can help with. And again, if Vinny isn't responsible, he's not responsible. Now, this isn't this is not the easiest or most ideal situation for anybody to be in, but definitely not a man that had a previous deceased wife. It's really bad for him. The appearance of it is really bad. But again, I'm not going to assume anything, because I've just now started diving into the case. But I'm reading a lot online, and I'm seeing what online's telling us. And online's telling us that he's a bad dude. And he very well could be. But I guess we'll find out. We'll find out. I'm not really expecting or have any type of expectations for PA. So our bar is very low. Hopefully we can help. Hopefully we can advocate. Hopefully we can bring some attention to it. And hopefully we can find her. But we're heading out. So not today, but on Monday. I'm expecting to be there late Monday night, early Tuesday morning. And then we'll get started. I've got my equipment, so I should be able to suit up and take you guys along for the search. I think so. I'll have to go through my equipment, make sure I've got everything. But one way or another, we'll have some. I've got plenty of power. I've got my hotspot with me, and I've got a phone. So one way or another, we'll have some eyes out there in those woods as we get out there. So I'm kind of interested in this case, and definitely about to put some real time and energy behind it to find some answers. So hopefully you guys check out the content I'm putting out. It's going to be a little noisy because I'm outside. I apologize about that. There's nothing I can do. I'm going to be working all day today out in this blessed heat. And so if you guys would like to check out my YT channel, we'll be running live on that all day today to show you guys. The problem is the phone shuts off because it's so hot out here. Our equipment just starts shutting down. So that's the situation we're dealing with at this moment. But other than that, I feel like this is a great cause, and we're going to get behind it. This again, Vinny Harp. This is where I'm hearing all these horrible things online about, is this guy right here. So we'll dive in. We'll bring you guys the truth. If this guy's a bad dude, I'll let you know he's a bad dude. But for right now, I'm just kind of keeping an open mind and just wanting to get out in the woods. Again, if you know where this area is, if you're out in this area, if you're in Pennsylvania and you know what's going on, let me know. If you are in this local area and you're coming across Bullhorn Betty, reach out to me at bullhornbetty@gmail.com if you've got a few days that you can, or just a day or half a day or whatever, you can designate for me so I can kind of just talk to you and get an update, and maybe you can show me around or something. Like give me a day tour PA. Please reach out to me. Again, bullhornbetty@gmail.com, bullhornbetty@gmail.com. I am very interested in getting out here, getting in these woods, and trying to figure out, make heads or tails of where Katlyn is and where she could be. But I'm absolutely 100% sure she's in the woods. I don't know how I know this, but I have a funny feeling she's in the woods. So that's where we're going to be. Anyways, guys, I will talk to you later. Rock it out with your coffee beans out. Don't forget to support me and Chronicles of Olivia's videos over the next few days. It's a smaller case. It's Daniela Mendiola. She should have been a much bigger case than she was because there's a lot of corruption here, you know, some racism, you know, and you're mixing that in with a Hispanic girl getting run over by a well-to-do white guy that's got political ties in the town. It's, you know, he's barely getting a slap on the wrist, and it feels like the whole entire investigation was intentionally botched. So that's the situation we're in, and we're just wanting to make sure we level the playing field for this family to give them an opportunity to seek justice for their daughter. And it's a very hard, touching, and emotional case. So anyways, guys, we'll see you soon. God bless each and every one of you. But have a wonderful Saturday, and you'll see my pretty face really soon. All right, guys. We've been out with Daniel Mendiola, Daniela's father, today in the town of Graham. So we've been in the town square of Graham. It was just a very, you know, just some family members out there today. We had one a beautiful soul that came out to support. And I'll be getting some of those videos up for you guys. Tomorrow, there's going to be a big demonstration out there. If you guys are in the North Carolina area, the Alamance area of North Carolina, if you know where Graham is and where the square is, me and Chronicles of Olivia. Come here, Chronicles of Olivia.
Hi.
You got to get into the screen for them to see you. There you are.
Hey guys.
We're on green screen. So there's Chronicles of Olivia. Her and I are here. There's Daniela Mendiola. Would you just tell a little bit about the case, about Daniela, about why we're here, what's going on with the case?
Yeah, so on Monday morning, Joshua Brown is going to be in court, and there's just
Who's Joshua Brown?
Joshua Brown is the person who hit Daniela in the vehicle. He did plead guilty a few weeks ago, and her family would like homicide charges. So that's why we are protesting this weekend.
Yeah, so they didn't really work with the DA didn't work with the family on this plea deal at all. And it's a really sad case, and it was the great work of Olivia. I'm just here kind of watching everything, but this really is Olivia's work as well as Daniela's father, Daniel, that really pushed this. And while it's not the most favorable outcome and he wants stronger and tougher penalties for Josh, this is a step in the right direction than where we were just a few months ago when he was looking at not being charged at all.
Yeah. When I first came out here, which was about, I think 2 weeks after she was killed, he had not been gone to court or been arrested or anything or charged with anything. I don't think they really were planning on it, but I think with Daniel's protesting and the viral TikTok videos, I think that combination applied the pressure that was needed to have something happen. But it really is, her father has really been just hitting the pavement. He really is fighting hard.
And tomorrow from 12 to 6, we will be out there with the family gathering and showing our support for this family. And I hope that anybody that can possibly come out will come out. And this is Graham, North Carolina, which is in Alamance County. Mm-hmm. And both Chronicles of Olivia and I will be out there in solidarity with the family. And we're going to be helping as much as we can. Just raise their voices and make sure that they have the opportunity to raise their voice in this community properly, lawfully, and legally.
Yep. Hope you guys can make it.
Yep. So we'll see you guys soon. God bless each and every one of you. Please be on the lookout. Chronicles of Olivia is working on great videos. If you haven't been over to her channel, please go over and check her out. She's working on a great video right now that she's going to be dropping. And then there's going to be more to come. She's over here on TikTok as well as on the YT. So get over there and check her out as well. God bless.
If I told you this is going on TikTok in 2 minutes, what would you like to?
Oh my gosh. I look crazy right now.
What would you like to say to everybody on TikTok?
Hey guys. Peace. Editing.
What are you doing? What is that?
This right here is Remington Francis Vital II, and I'm death scrolling on Instagram as I'm editing a video.
I just want to tell you it's nice to see you.
You too.
And Demon Dog.
Dum, 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 dum.
And Mom's sleeping in the back. Is she sleeping? She doesn't want to shit to do with us. Oh, I didn't have it far enough away. It's probably going to be awful. There we go. Now let's try it this way. Okay.
Lily and Jack Sullivan disappeared on May 2nd, 2025 from their trailer off of Gairloch Road in Lansdowne Station, Nova Scotia, Canada. They have not been seen or heard from since. The RCMP did a massive search, one of the largest in the area, and they found nothing. No signs of these children wandering off and no signs of abduction. They've done multiple searches in an isolated area and found no evidence of the backpack, any of shoes, or any belongings to the children. However, near their home, there was a footprint in an article from Lily's blanket that was laying outside of the fence. And you know a guy by the name of Darren Geddes, and he's been speaking on this case. Now, while I don't believe all of the information that he is providing because he is completely opposite of what law enforcement is telling us, I do believe some of the information, like Malaya leaving out the back door at 6 a.m. This would coincide for the 6:18 phone call to the school to report her kids sick for the day. Where did Malaya go and what did she do the morning the children disappeared? It appears she may have been the only one that left the house. This is interesting. What do you think?
I am a father of a young woman who was taken against her will. And that is my daughter. I don't know how to walk away. I don't know how to stop. I don't know how to do less than what I'm doing, and I wish I could do more.
This is Jennifer Kessie, and she has been missing for nearly 20 years.
In 2022, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement picked up the cold case, and that status changed this week.
If you guys have been following true crime for any amount of time, then you know about this case out of Orlando, Florida. This hallmarked an active cold case for many, many years. The alarming details is they had nobody possible as a person of interest or suspect in the case. Newly released information, however, from the Florida Department of Law Enforcement says this case is no longer cold. They have several persons of interest in a short list. This is welcoming news from her family. Her father, Drew, has been fighting for his daughter, and information about what happened to his daughter on January 23, 2006, since the day he found out she was missing. She had recently returned from a vacation with her boyfriend. Her boyfriend lives in Fort Lauderdale, a significant distance from her apartment in Orlando. Her father, however, recently just reported the Florida Department of Law Enforcement has found new information and new evidence. This information could break this case wide open. Her mother and father took the county to court to get the investigative files to hand over to their private investigators, and they won. Also were able to force the investigative body to turn over the file to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. The Florida Department of Law Enforcement has had this file since 2022. And just recently, some new information has been revealed. Here are just a few statements from her father.
They're getting close to really knowing who possibly may know where Jennifer is or what happened to Jennifer. Hope it brings Jennifer home. I mean, please ask me, Jennifer's not alive. So what's it all about? She didn't have enemies. She was going about her life. She was just doing what is expected of people. It is workable, it is being worked, and they believe it's solvable. That's huge.
I still don't know what happened. This happened in 2006. I was 26 years old when she disappeared. She's 2 years older than I am, and I can't believe her case is still unsolved here in the state of Florida. Please keep the Kessie family in your thoughts and prayers as they hopefully get justice for their daughter. God bless. Guys, we're back real quick just for another situation because I dropped a video this morning. I know I'm here in North Carolina for another case, but this one here has been breaking. I don't know if you guys did see my my video or not, but there is some breaking news in the Jennifer Kessie case. Now, this is a case that is almost 20 years cold, 20 years cold case. And this is a girl that disappeared suspiciously from her Orlando apartment. She was going to college out there. She had just arrived back home from a trip to St. Croix with her boyfriend. Her boyfriend resided in Fort Lauderdale. She was going to school in Orlando. There's quite a big difference between, travel from Fort Lauderdale to Orlando. I am from Florida. I live in Florida. I reside in Florida. I'm very familiar with both Orlando as well as Fort Lauderdale, Miami area, what the case may be. But there is some good news right now. If you haven't been following this case for a while, was it January or June? I think it was January. There it is, January 24th, but it actually is January 23rd when she actually disappeared. So her official date, missing date is January 23rd, not January 24th. But this was one of the very early on flyers for her. She disappeared in 2006, so almost 20 years. I think today marks 19 years, 4 months and 29 days, I think, if I had to calculate off the top of my head, which is not very good. But if you calculate, I think that's about right. Anyways, long story short, this case was turned over to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement by court order. The family took the police department, the sheriff's department to court to get the investigative file turned over to their PI and to force this to be turned over to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. The Florida Department of Law Enforcement has had this case since 2022, and now they're saying this is a solvable case, and they have suspects. They have a short list of suspects. This case right here may be solved. I don't know who did it. I don't know. If I had to guess, she's in a closed, gated community. It appears that something happened out at her car. Her boyfriend is in Fort Lauderdale. I have to assume that they confirmed. If they have confirmed that he was truly, in fact, in Fort Lauderdale, he is not a suspect. It would probably be a maintenance man or another person inside that resides inside that apartment, because I don't see how they would get past the gates. And I didn't hear of any other stalker or anything like that. It seemed like she felt very safe at her condo in Orlando. So who could this be? Well, her car was parked a mile away from that apartment, and it sounds to me like somebody was trying to take the car away. There was no reason to take the car off the property, but the car was taken off the property and driven a mile down the road. To me, a mile's walkable, 17 minutes away on foot, right? So it tells me, just on the face of it, that it's potential, possibly, that it's somebody that resided in that apartment. But we hear all the time, the maintenance people, right? The maintenance people. Could it be a maintenance person? I don't know. But the good news about this is there is some resolution. It looks like the Florida Department of Law Enforcement is about to solve the case of Jennifer Kesse. Again, this has been a cold case for nearly 20 years. Her father and mother, which hasn't stopped fighting for her, are ready for this to be over. So anyways, guys, God bless you. Again, we're in North Carolina for Daniela Mendiola, but this is breaking news, and I broke it this morning, first thing in the morning, but I don't think a lot of people saw it, so I wanted to come live, kickstart this new information. This is a huge case. This was a national interest case in 2006. This girl right here is only 2 years younger than I am. In my video, I misspoke and said 2 years older. I've known she's 2 years younger. I don't know why it spits out that way sometimes. My mouth runs at my brain's level. It was produced. I put it out there. I've listened to it 3 times. Still didn't catch it. And then, of course, when it's produced, I hear, she's 2 years older than me. And I meant to say I'm 2 years older than her, but it didn't come out like that. So anyways, she's 2 years younger than me. I remember this case when she disappeared. It was scary then. It's scary now that this girl could be in the comfort and safety of her condo in a gated community and still meet with violence. She's deceased. Her family has come to accept the fact that she's deceased. So we know that this is probably an R situation, an SA situation, that ultimately led to most likely her death. It's either that or a jealousy thing. And if it's a jealousy thing, if she had a prior boyfriend or her current boyfriend, those are the only people that I can think of at this moment. But I guess only time will tell. So just pray for the family that resolution is coming, but this is huge news in a 20-year-old cold case. God bless you. All I can say is 6 children are lucky to be alive right now. And for a woman having 6 children in her car to fail to stop and hit a vehicle, and that vehicle ended up flipping her vehicle, which tossed 6 children out of the vehicle. So as I said, these 6 children are very lucky to be alive. Most surprising about this is the children have no life-threatening injuries. What you don't know is all 6 children were thrown from the vehicle when it flipped. Here's the intersection of the area where this accident took place. And as you see, it is a very big intersection, and it's one that has a lot of lights. I've been through this intersection personally myself. It's hard not to see the light. My biggest question is the article didn't say any charges or any tickets were provided, and it closed down this intersection for many hours while they tried to determine what had happened. Now, how did 6 children wind up on the pavement? That's my question. I understand the vehicle rolled, but the children were ejected. Where were the seatbelts? And how in the world did this woman fit 6 children between the ages of 5 and 9 in a little cube? I don't know. I expect charges to be coming at any moment. Hey guys, we have some breaking news out of Florida, but this one is going to make you nauseous. We cover a lot of crimes here on the Bullhorn Betty channel, and many of our victims are special needs. And to hear that some special needs that have wonderful parents or just need help, and they have been provided some type of support going into this trust that's supposed to last them their lifetime. And it's stolen by the attorneys and the accountants they trust to keep those funds safe. This is Leo Gavoni, and him and his partner, John Wytek, scammed many disabled families out of over $100 million. I'm certain many of you guys are wondering how in the world this happened. I can't tell you. Gavoni and Wytek were running one of the largest special needs trusts in the state of Florida. This was a nonprofit, and they allegedly stole over $100 million from this special needs trust. Him and his partner ran the Center for Special Needs Trust Administration, a nonprofit here in the state of Florida. The weird thing is I can't find the mugshot or any photos of John Wytek, which is pretty odd in today's digital world. I'm wondering why. CSNT became one of the largest special need trust administration in the country. They had over 2,100 special needs accounts. They stole this money to fund lavish lifestyles, including Gavoni's own son's brewery, which fell into foreclosure. I'm very disappointed in Leo and John's behavior, but more importantly, their victims, and what this truly means for their victims for the rest of their lives. Their victims are re-victimized because of them. This is not okay. I pray swift justice is had, and I hope that they can find or liquidate enough of their assets to at least try to make some of their victims whole again. God bless.